Nice to be here. Well, first of all, I want to introduce you to my friends. You have my friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here on stage with me, we've got Drew and Gabby. Give it up for Drew and Gabby, guys. We have Rob and Andy. Rob and Andy.
Wait for Easter.
Over here on the side of the stage, we have Ingrid. We got Adina. And so yeah, this is the wonderful people that we get to tour around with and put on a show with. So, do you guys have any questions? We just going to do a question and answer.
Yes, I have a lot.
Yes.
First of all, how old were you when you figured out that you can play the violin and dance at the same time?
I was 18 when I did that for the first time. Anybody else have any questions, or do you have another one?
Sorry. Do you find it difficult to be famous now? Do you still have a private life?
I guess I don't really have much of a private life. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure when people know everything that you're doing. You know, it was interesting, the difference between writing my first album and my second album. My first album, nobody knew who I was, and there was nobody waiting for it, and I just got to kind of like...
I was waiting.
Were you waiting? Yeah, I guess there was some people. I didn't know there was people waiting for it, you know, so I was just kind of writing music, and when I wrote my second album, I felt so much pressure, and a lot of like, it was very scary to release it because I knew that people were waiting for it, and you know, there have been millions of people that had discovered what I did, and what if they didn't like it, you know? So sometimes there's a lot of pressure of just, I want, you know, this is our first time in Argentina. I want so badly to give the best show I can possibly give tonight, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that. But it, you know, puts a little bit of pressure on me because, you know, sometimes everybody has a bad day. Everybody makes mistakes, but I do my best to make sure that I give my fans the best experience I can possibly give. So. With that.
Okay. What was the time when you decided that this was the thing that you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
You know, I was 18. It was the first time I ever tried like moving while playing the violin, and I did it for a talent competition. And I had done a lot of classical performing, but when I performed in like a kind of rock and roll way and danced around, I was so like I had so much fun, and as the audience cheered and reacted and smiled, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make this part of my life. Like, I have to figure out how to do this, because it was like this electric energy that I'd never felt before. Yeah.
I was wondering what goes into the process of writing a song.
Writing a song?
Yes.
Sometimes I go into a studio, like, with a blank slate, like thinking of nothing, and we just kind of start from scratch and kind of think that the song will take on a life of its own. Then other times I have, like, for certain songs like Crystallize, or Shatter Me, or Beyond the Veil, I talked to the producer that I had very different or specific emotions that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted it to mean this, and I wanted it to grow, so I had a very specific idea. But yeah, a lot of times I start with the backtrack, and then I write the violin part on top of it. Yeah.
What inspired you to make your song?
Inspired me? I get a lot of inspiration from my own life. I think just the themes of my life, you know, a lot of the songs seem to represent overcoming and finding, like triumphant moments after overcoming something. That's a lot of the art that, like, a lot of the songs seem to have, I realized. And then sometimes I get inspired because I think of a fun video idea, and so I want to write a song that fits that video. Like, Round Table Rifle. I wanted to make a Western, like, battle video, and so I wrote that song just specifically for that video. So,
What would you tell to all violinists in the world, or to a violinist that maybe feels that there's some kind of pieces that he cannot play or something?
I would say practicing it slowly. Like, don't feel like you have to play it at everybody else's tempo, but it's always the most important to really learn a song well, slowly. If you can play it slowly well, you can play it fast. Yeah.
I will ask the most common question of all. What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of different stuff. I love electronic, obviously. I love artists like Nero and Zed, and but I also like pop. I like 90s pop a lot. We all do. We like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC still. And Britney Spears. Great stuff.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it never dies. It never dies for me. And I also like. Do you guys know Michael Bublé?
Yeah.
I love Michael Bublé. And Michael Jackson.
He's married to an Argentinian girl. Oh, yeah.
Really?
His wife is Argentinian.
Yeah.
I know. My heart cried a little bit when he got married. No! I had a chance. Michael! Any other questions? Yeah.
If you could look back 4 or 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself, knowing everything that has happened for you?
Ooh, what would I tell myself 4 or 5 years ago? Sleep. Yeah, sleep. Building up. Save that sleep. I would say balance. I think one of the things I struggle with the most is finding balance in my life, and it's something I'm trying to adjust my life a little bit now so that I have a little more of a balanced life. And but I've become so set in my routine and ways that it's really hard for me to change that. So I'd say, telling myself find balance in life. I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people.
You can try that when you're flying to the place.
Yes, balance. Enjoy. Have fun right now. We're done. In the back, yeah.
Okay. It's not really a question, but I really want to read you something about yesterday. There was a contest which allows us to be here today because we won it. And the contest was about choose the song you like and explain why. May I read it to you?
Sure.
Okay. It says, even though I love all of Lindsey's songs, I'm going to choose one called Take Flight. It's from her latest album, Shadows, whose video was released recently. The title and the music blend perfect. Both the title and the lyrics make me want to rise up to the stars, which is where dreams are. I know that every single person who knows about her history can identify with the feeling of not being able to spread our wings. Most of the time, this happens because we can't endure the pressure of having to live up to everybody's expectations. And many times because we lack the confidence to take that leap of faith and live life in our own way, without knowing where it will take us. I think that motivation is one of the most difficult feelings to foster, and to achieve that, you need a source which comes from a person who has really had hard time in life, someone who has been told no many times, someone who has fought against rejection and disappointment, who has forged a temper to get through life without paying attention to what others think, and who had the courage to fight against her own fears and get through all this pain to finally prevail. And that is what gives us both hope and the certainty that if we follow our dreams, no matter how hard the road gets, we will one day make them come true. The only thing we need is to find the courage and take flight.
Thank you for sharing that. I see why you won.
Audio reading.
I know, that was really good. And you wrote that, and you put it in the letter you gave me, right?
Yes, it was yesterday.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
My
It's really beautifully written.
Thank you.
And heartfelt. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about spending an evening with one of your fans, like going for an ice cream and talk about music and play the violin together?
I love getting fans. I love getting to meet you guys, you know, when I come and meet greets, and sadly it's usually super fast, and that's why I always do the question and answer. But yeah, there's different situations where I do get to do that occasionally, like I'll be doing one in LA right before we go on tour, and a lot of times I do them as competitions where people can win, you know, kind of like what you guys won, you know, where people can win that kind of experience, because I wish I had time to go out and eat ice cream and hang with all of you, but sadly we just are moving around way too much. But yes, I like to do that when I can. Yes, that.
I have a question that is a bit nervous, so I will take a question for him.
Okay.
He asked, which song did you enjoy writing audio? It's a difficult question.
Yeah, I think one of the funnest songs to write and one of my favorite music videos is Round Table Rival, just because it's so fun. And it's so different from anything I've ever written. But I also really liked writing Shatter Me because it felt almost like I was taking a weight off my shoulders when I wrote that song. To like express something that I had felt really deeply, and to be able to like put it out there and just get it off myself. It felt like a weight was lifted off me. Yes.
You want to play again with Pentatonic?
Maybe I will. They're amazing. They're super talented.
Yeah. Sounds nice with you. You blend perfectly with them.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take off the plate. All right, maybe just a couple more questions. Sorry. Yeah.
Who was your experience with your South American fans?
South American, my South American dance. Awesome. Everybody's been so loving and so kind, and the audience was here, like the crowd was fun and fantastic. So we've really had an amazing experience so far. You know, we'll definitely be coming back.
A little less serious, but has Felba been sighted in South America?
Oh, Felba, we think she got in customs at Colombia. Yeah, where we arrived. She's still there. Well, maybe she'll make it out. She should make it out, right? I think she should make it out. Maybe I'll put in a call. We can see if we got for her.
Maybe she
could be here now. Yes.
Who's in now the truth?
Want me to go a little louder?
Who's in now the truth? Iglesia.
How did you get to know the church?
How did I get to know the church? So I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and my parents were Mormons, and I was born into it. But you have to figure it out for yourself, otherwise it's not going to stay. You know, I grew up, I left home. My life has changed in every possible way, but yet still, I feel like I really came to know that my religious beliefs were true for me. Just as I've grown up and as my life has changed, by keeping that as my foundation of everything, the rest of my life is okay. And when I put that first, and when I make sure to live in that way, I feel like I stay the same. And I also just feel like I've been so directed and blessed and protected by the beliefs that I have, and that's how I really came to know for myself that I needed that faith as a part of my life. In the back.
When the three of you decided you will have a band or you will record songs?
I think we'll actually share that story in the show tonight. So yeah, we will. We're gonna make you wait for that answer. We'll talk about that in the show.
Have you thought about having your own dancing school? Right?
Have I been to dancing school?
Yes, the school, Lindsey School.
Oh, should I make a Lindsey dancing school?
You know, video DVD.
Oh, like a tutorial on how to dance the violin?
Yes, you should do it.
Yes. Workout video. You can practice and you get your cardio on at the same time. We'll get that. Maybe someday. Maybe when I'm like a little lady, I'll do it. And then you spin your leg around. Alright, last question now.
Have you ever, do you have any regrets on your life, or have you ever got the heart broken?
I've never had my heart, like, love broken. Well, I guess so I have, kind of. I felt like I had my heart broken. Yeah. No, yeah. I think I did, actually.
She's got real right now.
Yeah, you just need her like.
Like, really, good. I've had my heart broken in a lot of ways, though. I think my heart was broken, or my spirit was broken after America's Got Talent. I didn't know if I could go on. There were definitely times on the way where I felt like my dreams were shattered. But so in different ways, I've definitely had my heart broken, and I think even in love, I've had my heart broken. I'm going to say I did. I was pretty sad. Yeah. Usually we were both broken. And on that note, maybe we have one other question. Anybody else have a question? Yeah.
She wants to know how, she's a talented dancer too. She wants to know how do you mix the playing violin and dancing? How do you figure it out?
Yes. So I first learned the violin music really, really, really well. And then I slowly add in movement, and we're starting to learn some new songs. And it's funny, as we play these new songs live, in rehearsals, they probably noticed that I don't dance a lot. And then when I first start to really dance, I mess up a lot. And I have to really kind of practice the two together a lot until it becomes like this is the dance side of my brain, this is the violin side, and after I practice, and then it works. We are now going to play you guys an acoustic song. And you'll like this one, because this was an acoustic version of Take Flight.